Hi, Bestie. In today's video, I'm going to work on my paycheck budget, but for the month of October, I have a correction to make, and I'm going to reconcile an item in the month of November, and we're going to get into closing out my previous paycheck budget and work on my current budget. So if you're into budgeting, reconciling, cash stuff, and all those things, this video just might be for you. So let's go and get started. So let's get into my budget. So for the month of October, I had made a mistake in my calculations for my actuals, and I have made some notations here with the gold asterisks here, and it's with my variable expenses. I actually am over by $100 here, and I did end up making notations here with my mistake that I made. So I actually, for the month of October, was not over budget. So when I thought I was over budget for my first paycheck budget in the month of November, I ended up taking $74, that's $74.93 out of my income of what I had for my first paycheck budget. And I really didn't have to do that because I had incorrect calculations for October. Isn't that crazy? And I had ended up doing a giveaway to see who could find my mistake, and Lynn Banks found my mistake, and she was the only one that actually participated, so she would win my Black Friday bundle. So thank you so much for Lynn for noticing the mistake, participating in the giveaway, and I'll be shipping that out to you. So let me go ahead and write down my categories for the month of October here, because I'm going to walk you through so you can actually see it. So my income was $791.73. My fixed expenses, $409.87. Now for my variables, I had jotted down $228.79, but that's not right. So I just want you to see what my actual variable expenses is. So $92.52 was the first paycheck. Then I have $15. And then the last one is $21.27 for the month of October. So my variable is actually $128.79. So for my first paycheck budget in the month of October for variables, I was over by $100. All right, so now let me go ahead and add my debt, which is $50 here. That is my debt repayment for my credit card. And now let's jot down how much I saved, and that was $178. And let's go ahead and get my new remaining balance for the month of October with that correct amount, which it should have been. Okay. So my remaining balance is actually $25.77 for the month of October. So I'm glad about that I actually wasn't over budget. It's just the fact that when I was calculating my totals, I made a mistake and I didn't catch it. So I'm really happy about that, but I definitely have to correct this. And I've made notations all through my monthly budget. So if I ever have to go back through here, that I can find out and figure out what I did wrong. But let me go ahead and write at the top of here what my actual remaining balance is after making that correction. But because I took that $74 that I thought I was over budget out of my first paycheck in November, I have to do a reconciling item for that as well so that it can reflect that. So even though I didn't have So I'm like, I didn't have my debt repayment in my original October budget, but because in October that I've earned more than what I had planned and budgeted on, I was good. And I'm grateful for that. Alright, so now that I went over my October monthly, I need to go to my first paycheck in the month of November. So let me go back to that page. And so for that credit balance that I thought I had in the month of October, we're going to go to that part where I reconciled it. The difference here. Here it is. It's $74.93. So I need to reverse this out from my budget for my first paycheck to correct that error. Because I really didn't have that. So let me see how I want to handle that. Should I correct it here or should I do it? I think I should do it here. During my first paycheck. Yeah, I think I should do it during my first paycheck instead of doing it during my second paycheck. Yeah, I'm gonna correct it here and make a notation of that. Cause then it's gonna leave me with a carry forward amount to my second paycheck. Okay, so bear with me. This is my first time having an issue like this. So bear with me as I work this out. So I'm going to zero out that amount here from October. So that's going to change my budget total. So I need to change. So I have my debt repayment total as a $74.93. I'm going to zero that out. And let me calculate these amounts to see what my carry forward amount would be from paycheck number 1 that I will take into paycheck number 2. Since I have to make that adjustment. Alright, so my new remaining balance for paycheck number 1 is $75.76. And I'm going to carry forward that amount into my new paycheck. Let me know if you have any questions about this in the comments. If you're new to my page, welcome. I should have been said this before, but I was getting straight into my budget to take care of the reconciling items that I had from closing out the month of October. So glad that you're here. Hopefully you decide to subscribe to my channel and engage with me in the comments. And bestie, if you've been here before, welcome back. So glad that you are here with me. And I need to try to remember to go back and make a gold asterisk where I just made that notation for that reconcile item. Alright, so now let's go ahead and start my new paycheck budget for the week. Hopefully all is well with you and yours. Let me go ahead and jot down the carry forward amount. That's $75.76. Let me know how you're doing with an emoji in the chat. My throat is kind of getting scratchy. Okay, so on my website I've earned $71.13. If you place orders with me, thank you so much. Okay, so my total income for this paycheck is $146.89. And I'm grateful for that because if I didn't have that reconciling item, I would have only had $71.13. Okay, so here's my spreadsheet here where I'm showing my income. And then I'm showing my total and it reconciles to the $146.89. Okay, so now let's get to my fixed expenses for this paycheck budget. So my fixed expenses, I'm paying my second electricity bill. This electricity bill here, so I have two electricity bills, one for where I live, and the other one is at my father's house. No one's living there, but with the city, if you don't have any type of like electricity or water bill, they charge you a fee. So that's why I keep the electricity bill on. And my water bill is $93.70. So let's total this up to get my fixed expense amount for this paycheck. And that's $118.40. Okay, so I didn't purchase anything, so I don't have any variable expenses. So I don't have anything to put right there, so I could go ahead and my debt payment or repayment will be next week. So I could go ahead and figure out how much that I can save for this week. So I need to go ahead and add the totals to the bottom for my income and my fixed expense to see what would be available. But let me make sure that I covered everything to make sure that I did not miss anything. I need to be very careful and double check my totals so I won't have that same issue like I had in the month of October. But hey, I'm human. I make mistakes. I wish I would have caught it though. Now, if I would have probably paid more attention to my spreadsheet, I probably would have caught it, but I didn't. Okay, so I got my totals for my income and my expenses, and I subtract those to see how much I can save for this week. So I have $28.49. So I will put towards savings to $28. It's not much, but it's something is going to help me save towards whatever goals or whatever I need to save towards. Okay, so for my savings, I'm going to do my faith challenge. I need to do week 12, so week 12 is $12 for the 52-week savings challenge. Okay. And my freebie Friday. Let me get that binder to see, because I'm almost finished all the challenges in this binder. So for this one, I only need $1 left to complete this one. And I have a little ways to go for this one here. So for freebie Friday, I'm going to say $3 for freebie Friday. And then for let's see how much money I have left now. From the $28. Okay, so I have $13 left that I can place or allocate towards the savings challenge. Let's go ahead and do my debt savings challenge. And I'm going to save $13. Okay. So let me add these amounts up again, just to make sure after messing up before. Okay, so it does total $28. Alright, so that's basically it for my paycheck budget. But I do want to encourage you, if you do have low income, if you have fluctuating income like I do, that little does add up to much. Even if you just have $5 left after paying your bills, you can definitely save. Even if you're just saving $1, save it, put it to the side and save it. Cause you're gonna later on look back and be like, wow, it did add up. And I know years ago, I didn't believe in saving those little amounts. It seemed pointless to me, but now I'm older, I'm wiser, and I know better. That little bit adds up. And I wish I would have did that years ago, which I didn't. So, you live and learn. Wish I would have done it earlier, but oh well. Alright, so let me add these breakdowns up for these bills. Alright, so I've done that. And that's it. So thank you so much for joining me, Dusty. Toodles!